All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol Nndm, Nano Dimensions. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel. Invest for tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And as we jump into this chart, I do want every single investor to be aware that I have a new ticker symbol to share with you guys towards the end of this video. So I definitely recommend staying tuned so that you guys can share this with your friends and community as well. But you definitely want to add this to your watch list and radar. So Nano Dimensions broke through resistance, reached newer highs here of $18, a little bit above the previous high of $17.86, pulled back, started to fall, broke through the 50-day moving average, and we hit newer lows here. And we want to pay close attention to how this stock is reacting moving forward. Now, I know that a lot of people said that this was a glitch overall in the whole market, but we still want to refer to it as an important support level moving forward of 1320 to watch if the volatility persists in that direction. And before that, we have 1425 and even up here at 1373. Now, we don't just look at Nano Dimensions here. So we also look at how ARK Invest is reacting. Have they sold? Have they bought? So far, in every single video that I've done for like the last 3 months, a lot of people tell me, I don't see ARK Invest buying more. I didn't get the email. And I completely understand that. I'm showing you guys the numbers here. So ARK Invest continues to buy. And this is a good sign. That lets us have peace of mind that even though it's pulling back, there's still potential here. Why would ARK Invest continue to load up? If I was an investor and I saw this peak after 6 months, 7 months, hey, $18 and pull back, I would start selling, right? Any of us would. Well, ARK Invest isn't doing that. ARK Invest continues to load up. Now, I know a lot of individual investors have been stating in the comments down below, and that's a strategic plan, and it makes sense, is they're planning on selling closer to February or even before February, which is this week, because Nano Dimensions is planning to do offerings soon again. Now, they're not going to do $5, $4 offerings. I hope not. If not, that will pull the stock down drastically. What they're going to do is offerings wherever it's around. I can imagine maybe $1 or $2 below that, giving institutional investors having an opportunity to get more leverage into their portfolios of this and hedge on it. But one of the things that I do know is Nano Dimensions, as they continue to do these offerings, more institutional investors are going to continue to load up, and it's going to kind of set a foundation that at some point, even if every single retail investor does sell, institutional investors have a large portion. And I'm not saying that it won't break through certain numbers, but they're going to kind of have a foundation where it might not go below a certain point anymore, even if everyone was to sell and institutional investors would stay holding, because they have large amounts, hundreds of thousands, millions of shares, especially ARK Invest. So it's looking pretty healthy even if there was a pullback. So anybody that has not had a chance to get into Nano Dimensions, if there is a pullback going into February and these offerings start to happen, it might be a time to consider looking at Nano Dimensions, doing some research, and looking to see if institutional investors continue to load up, which I believe they will. Well, we should see them load up because that's the whole point of the direct offering. They get to load up on shares at a discount before it continues to run up. So one thing I am here to say is I'm not here to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold. But if you have not obtained a position in Nano Dimensions, February and March might be your chance. I'm not sure how far into March or how far into February. But if these stock offerings do start, we will start to see this pullback because retail investors are leaving and institutional investors just keep on buying more. That's what's going to tell you that even though it's going downwards, it's an opportunity. But if you don't want to start averaging up and then start averaging down as it's going down, you could watch it closely as the first offering starts to come out. And if ARK Invest continues to buy, that could be a sure sign that there's opportunity here. But you have to do your due diligence. You have to do your research. That's just something that I wanted to throw out there for anyone coming across this the first time. Or if your position is not as large as some of the people that have been following these videos, as one of the viewers and subscribers stated yesterday, which I really appreciate that comment, all the information, how they felt, and also how much fun and how they've enjoyed watching my content since we've been talking about it way back at $3. We've been watching this way back at $3, and we've been enjoying the journey through all the offerings and all the ups and downs and the roller coaster, but everyone was bullish. That's one thing I've noticed consistently. A lot of the investors that were watching these videos were bullish, and investor sentiment collectively gives you an idea of where this is going. And the fact that ARK Invest is so bullish, that just screams bulls, right? We got to turn into bulls and stop being so bearish. But Nano Dimensions has always been said to be a little bit speculative too because of the uncertainty, but risk to reward, so far a lot of people are seeing it, and we need to watch this closely because we don't want this to just pull back drastically back down to $10 or below $10. That won't be a good sign either, because then these offerings might even be below $10, and that's going to pull this down big time. But also it could be a shopping spree for a lot of investors. So let's see here how ARK Invest has been splurging themselves with Nano Dimensions. So here we are with ARKW on the 25th, yesterday. They had 4,107,653 shares. And today for ARKW, here we are with 4,122,740 shares. Now, the market value did not change by much, right? It didn't change by much, but their shares did go up. It did go down a little bit due to the pullback, but they went ahead and added some shares. That's a good sign. No selling going on there. Now, here we are with ARKQ, right? Yesterday, this is where they loaded up 300,000 shares, just about, and it was 6,914,164 shares at 115 million in market value. And today, right, it went down a little bit, 108, but they have 6,946,273 shares. So let's go ahead and look back at that. So you see, we went up about 30,000 shares, 32,000 shares. Collectively, both of them, they didn't go up by much. They usually go above 100,000 at a time, but for some reason, they took it a little easier. I've always noticed that when there's slight pullbacks, they're kind of hesitant unless it's a big pullback because of an offering. But on the way up is where they load up on shares. Very interesting. Who averages up in their right mind? Only someone or an institution or investor that believes this is going to go even further beyond where they're buying right now. So very interesting. We're going to have to see how this continues to play out. I could see this slightly falling a little bit more due to the fact that a lot of investors are already anticipating and hearing the news about direct offerings, and they're taking their small profits now or profiting on some shares and leaving some shares, on the table and taking some out. But right now, this is something to pay close attention to, and there's two ways to look at it. Either hold and there's no opportunity, or you can look at it as an opportunity to average up or average down as this continues to either pull back or consolidate within this area. But the way a lot of investors are reacting, which you can see it already in the chart, they may pull this down just a bit. Now, we don't want to see this go below $10 to $12, but it can get somewhere close to that if a lot of people are anticipating an offering, and then the offering is going to pull it back a little bit more, and then it's going to bring itself right back up to these numbers, and somewhere in the near term or in the near future, it's going to be above $18 because that's the true goal. And ARK Invest, if they're buying at these points, they see so much more room for sure. So our support level here is 1508. That gets broken through. We want to watch this carefully. And the next point would be down here at 1423 to see if the bulls are trying to reappear or are the bears tearing this one down fairly fast. It's going to be so important to keep that in mind. Pay close attention to it because it's pulling further away from the 50-day moving average. Now, the 50-day moving average is 1610. We want to keep that in mind as well. As long as we're below it, we're in bearish territory. The moment we're above it, we're in bullish territory. It's currently above the price at 1584, but this is our support we want to watch carefully at 1508/1507, give or take. Now, our resistance level is the highest point before it fell and ended up in bearish territory, and that's 1662. This needs to be broken through, turn into a support so that the bulls can pull themselves up to newer highs, new resistance levels, and then work towards $18. That's the most important resistance level moving forward. We may see this consolidate, we might see it pull back a little bit more, or the bulls can go ahead and say, hey, this is a discount, let's load up on shares and bring it back up. But the way it's moving and a lot of investor sentiment is showing me that this could work its way down a little bit lower. Not saying that it's going to be tomorrow or this week, but we may see it going into February, especially if these offerings are going to start to get executed and be in effect during February. But 1662 definitely needs to be broken through and turn into a support by the bulls to work their way up to newer highs and new resistance levels. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Stay tuned till the end because I have a ticker symbol you won't want to miss. So for everyone that has stayed to this point in the video, yesterday we talked about INTC Intel Corp, and today I'm going to share another stock that you definitely want to keep on your watch list moving forward. It's in the same sector, but it's actually a little bit more comparable to Nvidia, and it's almost 1/4 of the price. Now, INTC, we talked about it yesterday. I just want to do a small recap. We circled the big circle, how much it's dropped. We did the small circle. This could be the bottom, but we're also seeing it slightly recover. And then we drew that we want to see if this consolidates or pulls down further, because it could pull down further. Right now, it's within the consolidation period and area. Very interesting enough, it's been holding itself up, and there's room here for INTC to work its way back up over time. There's definitely potential, especially in this sector. Now, the one I'm going to share with you guys is IBM. This is the one you want to add to your watch list, and this one's already recovering really fast. I did not think it was going to recover this fast. As I did yesterday's video, I was looking at INTC. I was like, possibility of a type of consolidation to form, and we're already seeing it. And IBM was consolidating pretty fast at these lows. And quickly, as the day started to run, you could just see it running. And as I'm speaking about it, it's working its way up to newer highs. Interesting enough, it's like fighting to keep pushing, and it keeps seeing newer highs every 30 minutes so far. Now, IBM, it's a little bit more pricier, but it hit lows here of 117, and the midway point of all of this is about right here at this point of 115. And then the next point would be probably down here at 111 and then 105. But to kind of break this down into three sections, 117, your first support, your next one's 115, and then down here at 105. So you kind of have those points of reference to see if it continues to pull in that direction in the near future, or if it doesn't even get near them, this is already pulling back up, and it might seem to have been the bottom of this drop. I'm not saying that it can go any lower later in the future, but it seems like this has been the bottom. And if we see consolidation forming, right, for a really short period moving into tomorrow or the next following days, and then continue to work its way up, this could be on its way back up to these highs over an extended period of time, either weeks or months from now. Now, the one thing I do look here at the chart is that a lot of investors that have been in way before this started to run from 105 all the way to here, anywhere around this area, are saying, whoa, the last time we saw this at 117, 118 was back in November 20th, 23rd, leading into the end of the month. So we haven't seen this type of discount for 2 months now. So long-term investors are definitely jumping in and taking advantage of the price. That is becoming very obvious. And a lot of investors were willing to pay these premiums. So at some point, once it gets back up to these numbers, it's going to keep pushing up. So very interesting, in my opinion, based off the chart, how quickly it's reacting. This is definitely one to keep on your watch list and radar. As always, if you like this video and you found it helpful and informative, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click on the bell. Share it with your friends and community. Don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. And thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.